In a survey at the summer sports competition, 100 spectators were asked for which category of events they had purchased tickets. The events surveyed were tracked. The events surveyed were track, which is T, field, which is F, and swimming, which is S. 61 had tickets for track events. 15 had tickets for field events only. 10 had tickets for swimming events only. 17 had tickets for track and field events. 15 had tickets for track and swimming events. 13 had tickets for field and swimming events. 9 did not have tickets for any of the 3 categories mentioned. Given that X represents the number of people who had tickets for all 3 categories, sketch and complete the Venn diagram given below. And so here we have this Venn diagram, and our goal is to complete this Venn diagram. Notice that they said that 9 did not have any tickets for any of the 3 categories mentioned. And so we put 9 on the outside of the 3 circles. Next, what do we have? Notice that they tell us that 15 had tickets for field events only. And so that's why we have 15 right there, because 15 had tickets for field events only. What else do we know? Well, they said that 17 had tickets for track and field events. And so if 17 had tickets for track and field events, that's referring to this particular oval right here. So 17, right? 17 is the intersection of track and field. And so 17, this whole entire oval is going to be equal to 17. But if we know that this one is equal to X, then that means that this part is going to be equal to 17 minus X. And we know that the middle is equal to X because it says that X represents the number of people who had tickets for all 3. So all 3 is given by X. All right, so X represents the number of people who had tickets for all 3. Now, what else do we know? Well, they tell us that 10 had tickets for swimming events only. And so we have 10 here because 10 had tickets for swimming events only, and this represents swimming events only. What else do we know? Well, we know that they tell us that 15 had ticket for, it says 15 had tickets for track and swimming events. So track and swimming. So track and swimming is represented by this particular oval. This is track and swimming. That's track and swimming. So that means that this whole thing right there is going to be 15. This whole oval is 15. That's track and swimming. That's the intersection of track and swimming. But we know that this part is X. So that means that this part must be 15 minus X, since the whole thing is equal to 15. What else do we know? It says here that 13 had tickets for field and swimming events. So 13 had tickets for field and swimming events, which means that this whole thing right here, this is field and swimming events. This right here is the intersection of field and swimming. And we know that 13, not 15, 13 had tickets for field and swimming. So this right here is 13, right? So the whole oval is equal to 13, but we know that this part is X. And so that means that this part would be 13 minus X. Now, how about this? How about track event? Sorry, how about track only, right? Now it says 61 had tickets for track events. And so 61, this whole circle right here is 61, right? So this whole circle, right? That means this part, this part, this part, and this part, all together, this entire circle must have 61. And so if we know that the whole circle is going to have 61, and we know that this is 17 minus X, this is X, and this is 15 minus X, and you're trying to figure out what this is, then this part will just be equal to 61 because the whole thing is 61, but 61 minus 17 minus X plus 15 minus X. So 61 minus these particular ones, and I'll give you what this is going to be. And so we simplify. What do? We take 17 and 15 and we bring it together. So we take our numbers and we bring it together, and then we take the letters. All right, we take the letters and we bring it together as well. And so we have 17 plus 15, and 17 plus 15 is 32. We have a negative x plus x minus x. That's negative x plus x minus x. And we bring that here. Next, what is negative x? So we have a negative x plus x minus x. That's negative x plus x minus x. And we bring that down. That's negative x plus x minus x. So what do we do? Well, we say, okay, well, this negative and positive, we can cancel them out because negative 1x plus 1x is equal to 0x. So negative x plus x is equal to 0x, and 0x is simply 0. And so we just have 32 minus x that is left over. And then we say, okay, well, negative 1 times 32 is negative 32. And negative 1 times negative, and negative times a negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive x. And so we have 61 minus 32 plus x. So we say 61 minus 32, and 61 minus 32 is 29. So we have 29 plus x. And so that means that t only is going to be equal to 29 plus x. And so we have completed this Venn diagram in terms of x. Okay, so they want us to form an equation. They want us to form an equation in terms of x and solve it. Now remember that there are 100 spectators, right, that were asked for which category of events they had purchased the tickets. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say 29 plus x, that's t only, plus 17 minus x, that's this, plus x, plus 15 minus x, plus 15, plus 13 minus x, plus 10 plus 19. I'm sorry, plus 10 plus 9 is equal to 100, which means that we add up everything in here and on the outside, and that should give us 100. So 29 plus x, 17 minus x, right? X plus, I'm sorry, 29 plus x, 17 minus x, x plus 15, negative x plus 15, negative x plus 15, plus 13 minus x, plus 10 plus 9, all that should be equal to 100. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to group together all of our numbers, all right? And we group together all of our letters, all right? And so we have 29 plus 17 plus 15 plus 15 plus 13 plus 10 plus 9, and that gives us 108. And then we have x minus x. We have x minus x minus x. And so what we do? Well, we have x minus x and x minus x, but we can cancel that out, right? That would be 0, all right? And so we are left with x minus x minus x. And so what we can do is we can cancel out this as well. So x minus x is still 0. And so we are left with minus x. So we have 108 minus x is equal to 100. That's 108 minus x is equal to 100. We're going to take 108 and turn it over the equal sign. And so we have negative x is equal to 100 minus 108. And so what do we do here? Well, we subtract. So we say 100 minus 108, and that gives us negative 8. We divide both sides of this equation by negative 1. And this negative cancel with that negative, and we are left with x is equal to negative 8 divided by negative 1. And so x is equal to positive 8. So remember that x is equal to positive 8. Next, we're going to take our value of x. So it says using your value for x, calculate the value of the number of elements in T union F. T union F. So what is T union F? So let's highlight T union F. So T union F is all of this, right? The union, right? T union F, all of that is the union, right? And so what we have to do is we have to say 29. So we say 29 plus x, which we have here, 29 plus x, 17 minus x, which we have here. Then we have x, which is here. And then we have 15 minus x, which is here. And we have 15, which is here. And then we have 13 minus x. And so we know that x is equal to 8, so we substitute. And so wherever we see x, we put 8. So 8 is here, 8 is here, 8 is here, 8 is here, and 8 is here. And so we just operate on these numbers. And when we operate on these numbers, we get that our answer is 81. And so that's what we have, 81. Okay, so that means that the number of elements in the union of T and F is equal to 81. Okay, next, let's move on to the number of elements in S complement. So what is the number of elements in S complement? And what does S complement even mean? So S complement, well, that means that we want all of the elements in the universal set, all of the elements in the universal set, all of them, except for the elements that are inside S, which means that we do not include any of the elements inside of S. That's what the complement of S means. We do not include any of the elements in S. That's what we mean by the complement of S. Do not include any of the elements in S. So that means we cannot include 15 minus x, we cannot include x, we cannot include 13 minus x, we cannot include 10, but the other ones we can include. And so that's what we did. So we say 29 plus x, that's what we have here. 17 minus x, that's what we have here. Positive 15, so we have here. But we forgot something, we didn't put 9. Okay, so let's put positive 9. There we have to put the positive 9 because that is also a part of the complement. So it's going to be plus 9. And so what do we have? We say x is equal to 8. So we substitute. And so don't forget to put the positive 9. All right. And so what else we have? Well, that's not going to be equal to 61. 29, let's add that. 29 plus 8 plus 17 minus 8 plus 15 plus 9 is equal to 70. And so that's going to be equal to 61 plus 9. Let me just put plus 9 here. And 61 plus 9 is definitely 70. 70. And so that's what we have, 70. So the number of elements in S complement is going to be 70. Next, how many people have tickets for only one category of events? So you want to figure out how many people have tickets for only one category of events. One category, so that's going to be 29 plus X, that's one category, track only. 15, that's field events only. And 10 is swimming only. So 29 minus X is track events only. This is field events only, and this is swimming only. And so let's substitute. We know that X is equal to 8. And so we have X is equal to 8. And so we have 29. So we have 29 plus 8 plus 15 plus 10. And we add them all together, and that gives us 62. Again, 29 plus 8 plus 15 plus 10 plus definitely 62. So the answer here is 62. Next, it says how many people have tickets for 2 or more categories of events. 2 or more categories of events. So 2 or more. So that's going to be, they say 2 or more. So let's start off with 2. All right. So 2 would be 15 minus X, 17 minus X, and then 13 minus X. Those are just 2, right? So track and swimming, track and field, and then field and swimming. So, but then they say 2 or more. So then we could include X because that is 3, all right? And so let's do that. So that's 15 minus X, 17 minus X, 13 minus X, and also X. And so we substitute. So wherever we see X, we put 8. And so we have 15 minus 8 plus 17 minus 8 plus 13 minus 8 plus 8. And so we substitute, and that's going to, and so we after we substitute what we have for X, then we compute. So we have 15 minus 8 plus 17 minus 8 plus 13 minus 8 plus 8, that's definitely 29. So that means that the number of people who have tickets for 2 or more categories of events is definitely 29. And so our answer here is 29, and that's the answer for this particular question.